Old Men Stories. Today we're going to take up shooting. We usually don't say anything for a second, you know. I have a hard time keeping my mouth shut.
I have the same problem.
Roland, Wilits, Old Men Stories. I'm here with Lance A. Now I know what it is. I'm not going to say Armstrong. I'm going to say Akers.
Yes, sir.
And Lance is sort of a business partner of mine also, sort of.
Yes,
It's
we
sort
are.
of cool. It is. It is. And Lance has done a lot of things in his life. One of them was being a radio announcer, wasn't it?
Yes, I was. I did that for quite a long time through college, and then I still have my hand in it quite often.
Oh, wow. What was it? W? I got W because W's everyone.
Well, the very first one was KBRF
KBRF.
out
Okay.
of Fergus Falls, Minnesota. The second one was WDAY out of Fargo, North Dakota.
Oh, wow. And that's who you work with
That's
now.
where I still do the occasional gig.
How long has that been?
Oh boy, that's been since 1987.
Wow.
But that's not what I do for a living.
I know. You're in the pot and flowers.
Well, that I like to say it like this. When I was a kid, I enjoyed playing in a sandbox, Roland, and nowadays I get paid to do it.
You get paid to do it. That's
I'm a
cool.
professional landscaper.
Wow. That's really nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You get to go to work and play every day with all the big toys and some of the small ones. And you still get your hands dirty. At the end of the day, you frequently have a little bit of dirt underneath the fingernails. And yeah, it's really something that I've always enjoyed.
Wow. Yep. And it's nature's design.
Yes, sir.
And when
Nature's design.
we set it up the website. It was Nature's One design.
Yes, sir. No, it's been a lot of fun. I've been a landscaper for 25 years now.
That's a long time.
Yep. In my spare time, I like to get out and have a little bit of fun. My regular job is a landscaper. In my spare time, I like to raise money for what's called Honor Flight, flying World War II veterans out to Washington, D.C., totally free of charge. It's just in honor of their service so long ago. It gives them a chance to see their World War II memorial before they don't have a chance.
That's true. They are disappearing really fast.
Yes, sir. And they didn't get a memorial until 2005, which personally to me was a great shame. And time's of the essence.
It is. I see a lot of them at the VFW.
Yes, sir.
Yep. I go down to McDonald's in the morning and see a few. That's where they hang out in McDonald's in Pelican.
Good cup of coffee.
Rapids, yeah, and the Eagle Calf in Barnesville.
Yes, sir.
Do they make it late one? You know any of the?
Yeah, occasionally they'll stop off there. I know quite a few veterans that stop in for the pie.
They got good pie there.
Strawberry pie. You know it.
Yeah. And by the way, we're on radio and TV, by the way.
Oh, really?
So, yeah,
Okay.
this is going to be broadcast tomorrow, 4 o'clock, WQ4D, Old Men Stories.
Really?
Yeah, so you'll be on the
Okay.
radio and live web. So we'll get you both places.
Does that mean I qualify as an old man?
Did your kids say you are?
Not yet.
What do you mean not? They don't dare?
They're still too young.
Oh, they're still too young, huh?
I had kids later in life.
You
so.
sure did, boy.
Yeah. I
To
got
be
a
in
daughter.
business 25 years and not have kids call you old man. You gotta be. They start doing that when they're 3.
Well, I've had employees try doing it, but they get shut down pretty quick.
So
I
they
still
do
got
it. It's just behind your back. Isn't
I
it?
still got it.
It's just behind your back, isn't it?
More than anything.
Yeah, you're an old man. We're all old
Yeah,
men.
yeah.
Relatively, we're all old men.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, you just look at some kids when you're growing up 2 years younger than you, and you're an old man.
Yep.
You're in 7th grade, and they're only in 5th.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a relative term.
It is. It really is.
So yeah, you're an old man. but you're also a gunslinger.
Well, I'm a little bit of a Minnesota cowboy.
Yeah.
You know, I tell you, there's a whole lot of worse things a person can be doing in this world. And for me, I grew up watching Rowdy Yates. I watched, oh gosh, everything from Gunsmoke to John Wayne. That was the classics. You know, just going out Gene Autry, and I mean, God, even Zorro and all Rawhide, all the great shows. Thoroughly loved them all. And now that I've grown up a bit, I get to live out the dreams of my youth.
You don't grow up, you add layers.
Yeah, layers. Okay,
And you
I'll
can
with
go
that.
back to any layer anytime you want.
That works for me. I have a whole lot of fun doing it.
And it is funny because he sat down on the chair here and he got stuck. And it's not because he was wide, it's because he had 3 guns on him, or was it 4 sitting on your butt?
Well, I got 3 on me right
You
now.
had 3. I saw 3, so I figured there might have been one hidden I didn't see. So he has 2 sitting, one on each side, and one's for a cross draw, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
And the other's for a straight draw.
correct.
And then you have one in your back belt.
That's my backup.
That's your backup. Okay, and the one you can take out the one. Take the one out on the left side. You cross
All right.
draw for that.
My cross draw, it's a little difficult in a chair like this.
It is a chair. Is a little our rocking chair. A little, but he has a. What is that?
That is a Ruger single 6 in a Bisley style grip. It's a quick drop down.
Right.
Single action, which means you have to manually cock
Pull
the
it every
pistol
time,
every
yeah.
time to advance the cartridges forward. I shoot 45 long Colt, which is one of the original cowboy calibers.
Right. Yes.
You know, it's one of those classics because what I do is called cowboy action shooting. And the whole premise of it is we use the same type of firearms that the cowboys did. And we just use them in more modern variants. Now, some of my rifles, some of my shotguns are old timers.
Right.
Pistols, just due to safety concerns, using modern smokeless powders. You want to use a modern firearm as a general rule, just for overall safety.
Safety. Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But these are fantastic pistols to shoot. They're absolutely outstanding when it comes down to accuracy, reliability. I mean, you know, it's firearms like this that won the West. And, you know, it's there was a lot of dark times back then too, but, you know, this is about not cowboys and Indians. It's about cowboys and living the cowboy ideal and having a little bit of fun doing it, playing out what we always wanted to do when we were kids. And it's part of the Single Action Shooting Society, SAS, which cowboy action shooting is the fastest growing shooting sport in America.
Wow.
And you know, I look at it this way, there's many different categories a person can shoot. I shoot cowboy, which is any age. I could shoot Wrangler for over 36. But you know, when it comes down to it, it's all about enjoying a shooting sport, which can be a family sport, involving your wife, involve your kids, providing they're old enough. You know, it's all about enjoying time together, camaraderie, having some fun. And in my case, I have 2 younger children. My daughter will be starting cowboy action shooting this year. We've been practicing with a rifle and, you know, haven't done the handgun yet, but we work up. And, you know, when it comes down to it, I'd rather have my children learn respect for firearms from me in a controlled environment, going through the whole process of learning respect for something that, you know, in other circumstances could be dangerous. Mm-hmm. And I'm a big believer in not hiding something like that from a kid, putting it up on a shelf and saying you can't touch. That just breeds curiosity, and that's when accidents happen. Now, I'm a responsible gun owner. I keep all of my firearms locked and secured, all my ammunition secured. But when it's time to do this sport, that's when the serious phase comes on, and that's when we work together, and that's when we have fun as a family.
Cool. Where do you shoot? I didn't see a spot around your place over there.
Well, yep, I have my own shooting range. I have a 16-acre property just north of my home, which actually it's attached to one of my work properties, but I have a shooting range dug into one of our large hills, so I have almost a 30-foot backstop behind me, trap my bullets, prevent anything from happening. I'm a big believer in safety. Everything from ear protection, eye protection, and making sure my bullets go where they're supposed to. And safety is everything when we do this. But yeah, I go all around the area, everywhere from East Grand Forks to Enderlin, North Dakota, Center, North Dakota, down by the Twin Cities, Alexandria, Minnesota. Quite a large area. There's ranges all over that have come into being since the mid 80s, when this whole cowboy action shooting thing started. And so what happened is we all just we go, we travel, we have fun, we socialize. I've got friends from across the country. I've got friends internationally that do this, and we see each other. We look forward to seeing each other, and we just it's like one big family.
Wow. And I know you said you create your own character.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When you get into cowboy action shooting, you start out as a newbie, and you walk up to the table for the first time to register, and they ask you, "What's your alias?" Well, that first time you walk up, you don't know. Second time, you might not know. It might be a few times before you know. Sometimes it just comes naturally. A fellow like you might call himself Slim.
Oh, I'm Buck.
I might be Stretch.
Terry's always been Buck.
Yep. It's one of those things. My brother is the North Dakota Undertaker. And I'm thinking real hard about switching my alias, but when it comes down to it, everybody has a uniqueness about them that you just gotta have some fun with, and they call me Bob.
They just call you Bob.
They just call me Bob.
I like that.
It's just, it's one of those things. It's plain, it's simple. Bob's up next. Bob is on deck.
Hey, Bob up.
Yes, sir. Nice shooting, Bob. You gotta have some fun with it. But no, it's all about traditional shooting and traditional shooting sports. You're shooting a scenario, and to give you a little bit of an idea about it, you're using the period firearms. So you would be using a double barrel shotgun. It would be a break action. It wouldn't have ejectors, so literally you'd have to break it open, swing it over, give it a little shake, and drop your shells out. Mm-hmm. Or you might be using one of the old lever action shotguns. Or it could be like a Winchester 1897, which was a pump, hammered shotgun. I mean, they had the old butterfly that would pop up. And it was the firearms that were actually in use by
and you draw, and you do it as fast as you can in a sequence.
In a sequence, in a safe manner. You're shooting a scenario. Your rifle is a lever action rifle in a pistol caliber, and for myself, I shoot a Winchester 1892 octagon barrel rifle. It can hold actually a little more than 11 shots, but you load 10 rounds into your handguns, 5 in each. So they're a 6-gun, but for safety reasons, you still put hammer down on an empty cylinder, empty chamber. Mm-hmm. The rifle, you load 10 rounds, unless there's a special hiccup that's going to be given to you in that scenario. And your shotgun sits empty, and you load that one on the fly. So you might be sitting at a card table, and occasionally you got a Derringer thrown in, or something else. Well, you might be sitting at a card table in a saloon, and everything's timed, and there's a line judge. He's your range officer standing right behind you. He's got a shot timer, and when that buzzer of that goes off, that starts the clock, and you might have a handful of cards in your hand, and when that buzzer goes off, you got to throw them down. You say, "You dirt, you cheating scum," and then you have to draw, let's say, a Derringer out of your vest pocket, or grab it off the table. and you've got a balloon sitting 6 feet in front of you on a post, and that little balloon's about yay big, and you've got 2 shots to hit it. One's a 45 long colt, the other one's a 410 shotgun shell. You go bang, and if you miss it, you got to recock, bang again. And hitting that little target that close, you wouldn't think it'd be that hard, but I know a whole lot of darn good shooters that missed it. Well, when it comes down to it, as soon as you're done taking those 2 shots, you slam that pistol down, you get up, you go running for the saloon doors, you burst out, and next thing you know, you're in deep trouble because the sheriff acted fast. Now there's a posse coming after you. Got 10 riders coming right down the street. Well, you grab your 6 gun, and you draw, you shoot 5, holster, cross draw in my case, shoot 5 more, holster that one up, and now you gotta beat a fast retreat out of town, but you're running like heck. You're going for your horse, but now, by gosh, now you got trouble. You got some cattle that are stampeded, and they're coming right at you. Now you're in deep trouble, so you grab your shotgun leaning up against the water trough. You pick that up, you shoot 2, break, drop them, load 2 more, shoot those, break again, drop those shells. That part is done. You set that shotgun down. Now you run up to your horse, which in our case is a sawhorse. We call it a quarter sawhorse, made up to look like a horse. Got a saddle on, scabbard on, you get up on that horse, now you got to be a fast retreat out of town. But now you got 5 more cowboys coming at you, so you grab your rifle out of your scabbard, you bring it up, you work your action, you bring your first shell into the chamber, and you shoot 10 times. You might have 5 targets, shoot bang, 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 right down the line. You repeat, and put her back in the scabbard, and that all happens, that's the end of your stage. That all happens in about 30 seconds.
Wow.
But you do it in a safe manner. You're not traveling a long distance from point A to point B.
Then you're in a safe environment. Everything's
You're in a safe environment. You know, it's a controlled environment. There's very specific rules, very specific procedures you have to follow to make this safe. But you know, every man, every woman, every person who does this understands the limit of their abilities. Now, I'm not a youngster like I used to be when I first started. I'm moving a little bit slower, but you know, I'm a little bit more accurate too. You know, I can wrap them off pretty darn fast. When I'm working the 6 guns, it's like listening to a sewing machine. Mm-hmm. I got a lot more friends that can wrap them off even faster.
Wow.
You know, it's just an enjoyable shooting sport when it comes right down to it.
Well, that sounds really nice. And, you know, I just shoot trap. That's just about it. Or, you know, I've shot the skeet and you know, other anything with the shotgun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I go out. I do have, you know, pistol.
Oh yeah.
Just a quiet one. 357.
I've got a couple of those. They're a lot.
You have a lot of guns. He has about 5 guns that he brought here.
Well,
and when we finish this, we're gonna do an action video afterwards, and I'll get you on you know, on action.
I should have got you over to my range and done it for real.
Well, we could do that. I can do pictures over there.
The whole fun of this sport is just, I won't say it's going out just for shooting's sake. It's for keeping your mind sharp, having fun, exercising, which there's quite a lot of this. I mean, it's a whole lot of making you think. It's very mental, because you can have a scenario where you have to shoot 5 this way, and then whoops, now you got to reverse and shoot them back this way. And a lot of times the guy wants to shoot them like this and then go back and shoot them again. You might have to shoot outside target, inside target, middle, and then go with your other handgun, do it reverse order.
Wow.
And I mean, it's an absolute riot.
It's a lot of fun.
You see a whole lot of smiles.
Sort of Nerf for adults.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it really is. But it's a whole lot of fun when you get down to it. It's, well, for one thing, it's being out in the outdoors. It's enjoying God's great earth. It's having some fun with friends, meeting new friends, meeting an awful lot of new friends. Seeing the creativity that's out there. As well, to explain it like this, I came over tonight wearing a pair of jeans, wearing one of my regular shirts that in this case, one that I'd wear when I'm raising money for Honor Flight. I'm wearing my Extreme Makeover Home Edition hat, which I participated with and worked for and had a whole lot of fun. But then I changed over and the vest comes on, the cowboy hat comes on. Now, normally I wear a black hat, but for the purposes of this interview, I wore my Sunday going to meeting church hat, which happens to be a white Texas shag.
But you haven't quite put that on yet, but we'll get that on a little bit.
It's one of those things.
Yeah, I know. I haven't put mine on either.
There you go. There you go. But
sometimes when you're Western, it's on the bed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's where our hats are, on the bed.
I just thoroughly enjoy the early morning, the cup of coffee, smell of gunpowder. It sounds funny. It sounds like an old, Robert Duvall line, but that smell of gunpowder in the morning. I grew up on a farm. I shot. I hunted. I did a whole lot out in the woods, enjoying myself and walking streams, hunting birds, deer hunting, squirrel, everything else in between. And it brings back a lot of memories and fun from my youth.
Well, we're going to cut off now. I think we got enough for the radio show. Then we'll go on with a little more video, say Lance Acres, Old Man Stories. Look that camera right in the eye.
Lance Acres, Old Man Stories.
Yeah. Old Man Stories. One more day of shooting.